Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I think just excitement. I think the girls are really excited about yesterday. Winning the first game, that's always the number one goal is you want to be in the top 8, so you got to win the first game. And I think now they've kind of tasted like, oh, we can really do this.
They're really talented, but, I thought, we battled there towards the end and, kind of executed. We had some, Sebastian knocked down that 3, which was huge. So I just thought we executed down the stretch. And
it's been great. I mean, the community support's been amazing. The football moms they're getting meals and snacks, breakfast.
And what they've done, not just on the field, but how they've gone about it daily, bought into what was being done and saw the benefits. And hopefully, when we have former players come back and watch practices and stuff, I hope that there'll be those type of guys that
was so good. And one of those players, the stats don't even bear out what he does, just the disruption and everything he did. And played a lot of linebacker, defensive end. Even so, he kind of got thrust in when he probably wasn't quite ready. But now you see the dividends. And I remember saying it with you at the time. It's like he's learning. He's going to be really good, getting that experience.
Josh Allen is a lot closer to where Patrick Mahomes is than anybody is to Josh Allen. So in other words, one is Mahomes, pretty close to him is Allen, and way down the bottom of the totem pole is everybody else.
So to sit here and say that Josh is worlds away from Lamar or the rest of the field in comparison to where Mahomes is at is absolutely ludicrous.
It's more than just 1,217. It's all of those things put together that I do think it would be hard to say anybody else has had a better career as a college coach in any sport.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. The Hall of Famer Lonnie G is going to have to wait. I'll get in touch with you later, sir. Welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. It is the Thursday show. Steve Webster, Mike Corson, and Mike Hesher in studio. Landon Winkler running the controls and resting his voice up for when on the prowl returns as we are in transition time here on the show. On the program today, pretty good doubleheader for the conference opener last night at the Kirkman Center between the Barton Cougars and the Hutch Blue Dragons. And Barton wrestling coach Nathan Brockelman is in. But we'll begin our sounds of the day with Barton volleyball. Megan Bessiker saying her team is ready to go. You'll hear from Megan. Got a hold of her about an hour and a half ago down in Clarksville, Tennessee, as they get set to take on Indian Hills this afternoon at 4 o'clock. After they dispatched of Navarro College for the second time this season in straight sets, 25-19, 27-25, 25-12. So now it's the quarterfinals, and Megan Besker says her team is ready to go. They've had a great season, but you just never know. You get down there to the national tournament, new surroundings, and hats off to the Lady Cougars, 3 wins away from a national championship. They've been to 22 of these, but bringing one home would be pretty doggone good.
Sounded like she was in a Waffle House.
They've got a bunch of them down there. Oh, yes, yeah.
But for real, to go into the national tournament, 6 seeds not terrible, but there's room to get beat. And so to kind of dominate a team 3 straight is awesome.
That could have been right because they are staying at the Comfort Inn and Suites in not Clarksville, but the town just that's right on the Kentucky border. It's near Gate 9 of Fort Campbell. The Sleep-In Suites is right next to that, and there's a Waffle House within walking distance, probably about 50 yards away from that. So that I was curious to see where they were staying. So Waffle House, volleyball, Cougar, it's all right there.
And it's sound nutrition. You go in there, you get your greasy potatoes, get those carbs up for the next day.
Yeah, scattered.
Little protein.
With gravy.
Just enough.
Yeah, the all-American breakfast. You betcha.
Don't go out too late, ladies. You make sure those chairs are bolted down.
Barton plays at 4 against Indian Hills. They will play the winner of number 2 seed Miami-Dade and Missouri State West Plains, who will be playing at the same time. If they win, they would play at 7 p.m. in the semifinals. They lose 4 o'clock in the consolation bracket.
That's one where, they beat Indian Hills. I believe it was 3-1 clear back in September. So we've seen it so many times. How hard to beat a team twice. Don't overthink it. Just go beat them.
The Barton Cougars have won 33 straight basketball games. And last night, Hutch took them to the wire. But the Cougars win 94-89. Head coach Jeremy Combs talking about his team doing what they needed to do. 6-0 on the year, 33rd straight win. Talked to Hesh about this morning, how, especially in junior college basketball, you transition different players in. But, boy, once you get that winning mentality, the culture.
The culture, sorry. I was
even,
thinking about...
Even though there's new guys on the team, hey, we're Barton, we expect to win. And that was a big one to get because that was a big, as Cole said on Tuesday, that was, a big one for Hutch. Barton's got a pretty good winning streak going against them. It had been a feather in their cap to get that win, but the Cougars win it. And, boy, 7 Cougars were in double digits last night. Wow.
Nice distribution. Yeah, I went out there the other night. It wasn't an exhibition game, but it was an early one, and it was shocking to see the roster, all the FRs, and you're like, man, this is the number one team that they're still getting respect, but that's a brand new team, basically.
And Todd Moore told me this morning, shout out to Todd Moore and Brandon Smith, as they do a great job as SIDs, but this was the first overtime game for Barton since 2021, I believe it was.
Really?
That's what he told me. I'm sure it was 2021, the first overtime game they've had since 2021.
And Gary Wagner did the game last night. Great job on that. And I would turn in overtime.
Extra cash?
Extra.
Okay.
Good luck with that. But
Hesh and I were standing up there, and Brandon's bringing out food to people and just completely
He just ignored
us.
I'd already been in there, though, so I can't say
I didn't have money to tip
you
him.
went in there?
Why not?
The Cougar did?
Yes. I was working. We had difficulties technically last night, so I was out there.
Well, no wonder we had technical difficulties.
Because I was
You're
there.
feeding your face.
Oh,
and
okay.
you're just out there
Touching
just
the connectors.
Just call me Old Yeller.
I believe we did this
Well,
morning.
I know, and that's my new nickname.
I couldn't believe the traction Old Yeller got on Trading Post this morning.
I walked into the SID office, and that's the first thing Todd Moore said. Hey, it's Old Yeller. Jeez.
It wasn't intended.
It worked out perfectly, though, from what you guys said.
Okay, so Barton wins, and they will go to Garden City on Saturday, the same as the Barton women, who had the number 1 ranked team in the country, down by 7 at halftime, Hesh.
Yes, they did, and
9 in the
Hutch turned up the defensive intensity tremendously in the second half. Barton couldn't do much offensively at all.
12 points in the second half, 28 turnovers in the game. And I think, 8 or 9 of those points came in a quick little spurt early on in the third and then later in the game. So there was a stretch of, we thought, 10 minutes with about 3 points?
Well, I don't think Barton scored for about 9 because there was like 6:39 in the third quarter to go, and they didn't score until 2 or 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. There was a long stretch of them not scoring.
And I think we'll find that Hutch is probably not going to be number 1. They won national title last year, so they're getting that respect, but they turned it on because they were down 9, and then all of a sudden they're up like 16, and it was pretty quick. So you saw a flash of it, but first
again,
half,
it's like November 20th.
yeah, it is.
And here we are, a huge conference game to start things.
And the crowd showed that they didn't like the conference matchup this early.
It's just not enough to hype it up yet.
Well, that's true. I mean,
There's still a feeling of football. It's kind of that not college basketball time yet, but there you are, the 2 number 1 teams going at it. Okay, on to high school football. J.D. Johnson was in here. Where are the Eagle Radio staff parents at?
well, all the food?
To cook things.
I think we are the Eagle Radio staff parents.
Well, yes, we are. We're the old, yeah.
And grandparents, too.
Now, listen, Mrs. Corson's in town.
Good cook, too.
Well,
let's go. Sign her up.
Maybe we
You guys
need to
want?
maybe we need to get in a championship or something like
Thanksgiving
that.
coming up. Let's see.
J.D. Johnson, head coach of Central Plains, says no surprise to see the excitement level in Claflin and the surrounding area. Bushton,
Geneseo?
Holyrood.
Geneseo not go that way. I'm not sure what's
Okay,
all Central Plains.
That's good. You know the next road over there. They're the next town.
Oh,
So
no.
it's the Oilers against Clifton Clyde tomorrow night in one of the sub-state matchups.
I was shocked to see that. I believe it was 13 or 14. They were undefeated. I was shocked leading into your next cut that again in 2018. But yeah, it's been a while since they've made that deep playoff run. But yeah, for a while this is what we did every year.
So that's a 6:00 kickoff tomorrow night. The winner will play in Greensburg for the state championship next week. A lot of times the sub-state matchups are not as good maybe as some of the maybe sectional games are. It seems to work out like that. But okay, here's the matchups. 5A. Hayes High 7-4 at Goddard Eisenhower 9-2. I think Hayes is going to win that game. Just saying.
I would second your motion, yes.
Beloit at southeast of Saline.
I think Trojans are going to cakewalk that one.
I think that game's
The Southeast Trojans.
I was going to say they're both Trojans, if I recall right.
Yeah, good.
Right, the first time.
Good catch.
I'll be there.
I think you might get a good game. I think southeast of Saline will win that. Conway Springs and Valley Heights. That's on the east. No, that's on the west. Valley Heights and Conway Springs. Rossville and Centralia on the other side. Hoxie at South Central. It's a game I wanted, but no. 11-0 Hoxie against South Central 11-0. I think that could be the best game. 8-man Division I. Victoria at Dighton. I think Victoria's going to. I
They've
think
rolled a lot of people this year.
Ken Simon's a great coach at Dighton. They do a lot of things on offense and things, but man, Victoria's just.
Do we gamble in to say the coach at Victoria is a dryling?
No, it's not a dryling.
No,
But it's
a
not
Pifer.
No, and I should know that. Had him on Sports Day before. Gee, many Christmas. Okay, thanks for setting me up for failure there, Mike. 6-man. Golden Plains at Weskin. A night playoff game in Weskin. How about that?
Cool.
But no one's going to beat Cunningham.
I'll take anybody but Cunningham.
Here's the game that if you have a lot of money, go out and place it all on Holcomb to upset Andale.
You might as well take Kansas State in 25 points.
Yeah.
Andale's one of the Bueller at Andover Central. I think this could be a very good game. Manhattan at Derby.
That's a shame that's not a state.
I was
final
going to say,
game.
that's too bad.
Well, you got Blue Valley West and Gardner Edgerton on the other side.
Gardner Edgerton,
Yeah, it is
can't rule them out.
stacked 6-8.
Okay, Lance Leipold. His team needs 2 games to become bowl eligible. Kind of thanking the players that stuck with him and the staff when they. You talk about a season that could be. They're still the best bad team in America.
My take is now that K-State's out of the Big 12 running, those players have nothing to play for. Go Buffs. I think the last 2 weeks those Jayhawks have been. We can get Kansas State into the finals.
Okay.
Oh,
here
yeah,
we
I'm
go.
sure that's what they're doing. Yeah.
You watch the ball flat.
I
I wouldn't want to be
I think
Colorado.
KU will get them
Yeah,
Saturday.
It's tough.
2:30 because Colorado's not going to travel well. They just don't. I mean, one, because they don't believe in, fossil fuels. So how are they going to get here?
Would you leave the mountains?
I will say, like before the game the other day, she asked Dion, "How are you going to handle their front seven?" He said, "Their front seven. What about our front seven? We're the ones with all the sacks." They already had all the skill players on offense. I think the defense has picked it up, so it'll be interesting. I slide edge to
All
the
right.
Buffs.
Kansas State will try to end a 2-game losing streak at home against Cincinnati. 7:00 start. That's on ESPN2, by the way. Colorado at KU is on Fox, the Big Fox, on Saturday afternoon. Okay, Jordan Welbrock on the show yesterday. We couldn't hook up with Miles Mingus or Mason Perez this week, but Jordan talking about the Defensive Player of the Year in Miles Mingus and Another great recruit for Chris Brown for Fort Hays State was Larned's Mason Perez. He was named first-team defensive back. Two great athletes from
Central Kansas.
Exactly.
I would say the big thing going around the Facebooks yesterday was how much weight Miles gained as a college kid. This is why when you see some of Great Bend's kids and some of the other standouts, I think they're far from their potential growth-wise, and it's going to be fun to see that.
Okay, and Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Josh Allen is closer to Patrick Mahomes and way better than Lamar Jackson. Absolutely correct, Mad Dog. But Chris Canty, one of the apologist crew for Lamar Jackson, he said he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Lamar?
Yes.
Well, NFL is not hard to get into the Hall of Fame.
Because Chris Canty said it's ridiculous for Mad Dog to say Allen is better than Lamar. If it wasn't for the Chiefs,
Allen
would have a couple Super Bowls right now.
Well, at least made the game. Not sure he would have won them.
He led him back twice against the Chiefs at Arrowhead. It wasn't his fault the defense gave up plays. Lamar Jackson,
we know it burns you.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's rather
finally,
obvious.
Michelle Vopel, ESPN.com writer, asked if Gino Auriemma is the greatest coach in college basketball history.
No.
Who is?
Got the best players.
He's coached for 40 years.
You're right. And so women's basketball is not that old. So it was him and Pat Summitt had the premier teams. Now you're seeing South Carolina's got him.
So he's not a coach because he went out and got good players? He has to recruit them.
Coach.
Huh?
He's not the
He has to go out and recruit them.
So he's a great recruiter.
Is that not part of coaching? He probably hasn't had to coach a lot. I mean,
That's
really?
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll say he's a great recruiter.
I don't like to keep in.
I don't know. He won his 800th, his 1,217th career victory, beating Tara Vanderveer.
And he still gets emotional. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that's kind of cool, because never got to talk to Gino. Did get to do the halftime interview with Tara Vanderveer, who reminded me she's not that old. When I said, well, what have you seen during your career in women's college basketball? Well, I'm not that old. I said, calm down, Tara. and Michelle Vopel, who was at all the K-State games when Kendra Wecker and Nicole Oldie and Lori King.
Yeah, so that's the same argument there. Well, Deb Patterson's a great coach. She was good for 2 years because of the kids that came in. So Gino's had that stream going.
Well, I would not compare Deb Patterson with Gino Auriemma, okay? Poor Deb was playing in the NCAA tournament against Minnesota, Williams Arena. And they've got that stage up there, so it's an elevated court there. And so you got to sit on the stool. And she had her pad with the blue pen. And then after, the second half when Minnesota was blowing them out, all she could do is sit with a slumped, and her hand was all blue because she'd been trying to come up with ways to.
I think she's doodling flowers at that point.
Possibly. There you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Okay, the Colorado game against KU. Earlier this week, Miss Peggy, it's not Miss Piggy.
Enunciation.
Miss Peggy. It's Colorado superfan Miss Peggy Compton. During a press conference while seated next to Coach Deion Sanders, a full Folsom Field sang her happy birthday, and Sanders asked her which bowl game she would like to go to.
I just wish my twin sister were here. It all started because we were twins. I can't deny that we've been loyal fans. But I said to get all this attention for just having a good time is unbelievable.
Miss Peggy.
To see Deion just sitting back there, I think his arms might have been. It was her show, and so I told him about that last night, and he has actually been to games where they recognized him.
Oh, they were on the big screen at the basketball games and CU every game.
Were they like the two women that used to go to the All-Star wrestling matches?
Similar, yeah. But they would show them on the big screen, and everybody just would give them a round of applause. because they were there every game. And they were identical twins, too. They looked right like it. It was crazy.
But yeah, so Dion says, which bowl game would you like to go to? And she says, she'll take whatever he can give her.
She's still kicking at 100, though.
Yeah,
She's 100?
Yeah, that was the big celebration.
Yeah. Her sister died. Her twin sister died several years ago. Probably within the last 10. But, oh, yeah, they were at every game.
Miss Peggy. What was her sister's name?
I don't know that one. Everybody just called them the twins. I didn't know I thought they were just, that was their names.
Good stuff. Mike Corson looking under rocks again to bring cool stuff to Sports Day.
It had to do with Dion. He was there for Dion.
We forget, yes, he has jumped off the K-State
yes, he
bandwagon.
has.
Go Buffs.
He's all over Dion.
He's a sports flea. He finds a host he likes, and then
He's going to go.
Nope, I'm not getting enough out of this. No, bing!
KU beats him. What will he do next week?
Ducks.
Come on over.
Puddles is still quacking up in the Northwest.
It's Sports Day, brought to you in part by the Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community, the lives of its individuals. The Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, and by Equity Bank. Here when you need us, bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equity.com, equitybank.com for more information. We talked to Megan Bessiker. Probably about 2 hours ago.
I was going to say it was about 9 o'clock.
Indian Hills. Sports Day rolling on after this.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Step into the spotlight with Barton Community College's theater program. Whether you dream of performing on stage or creating magic behind the scenes, Barton offers hands-on training, expert guidance, and creative performance opportunities. With top-tier facilities and a supportive community, you'll develop the skills to shine. Turn your passion into a career and start your journey to the stage at Barton. Learn more at theater.bartoncccc.edu.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no-obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend. It's another instant finalist day in our $20K Christmas cash giveaway presented by Bauer Computers, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes. Today, the place to be is Rosewood Wine Cellar on the corner of Lakin and Kansas, courtesy of Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air. Stop by before 5 o'clock and get yourself registered. At the Wine Cellar, you're going to find more than 30 varieties of Rosewood wine, all produced at Rosewood Winery. The friendly, knowledgeable staff can help you select the best wine for your holiday meals, and where else can you sample it before you buy it? Not sure what to get that special someone? Well, let the staff help you gather a variety of items, including unique seasonal items, and bring them together in a beautiful basket. You have until 5 o'clock today to get yourself registered at Rosewood Wine Cellar in downtown Great Bend in our $20K Christmas cash giveaway presented by Bauer Computers, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here as we go to Tennessee. Talk with Megan Bessiker, head coach of the Barton Lady Cougars. This is starting to get serious right now. Barton Lady Cougars sweeping yesterday. Navarro College, 25-19, 27-25, 25-12. And they are now into the quarterfinals where they will play this afternoon, taking on Indian Hills from Iowa, a team that the Lady Cougars have already faced this season. Megan Besker joining us right now. Megan, thanks for joining us. Congratulations. You had to be pretty proud of your team yesterday, going out and taking care of business, just as they have done all season long.
Yes, thank you. Yesterday was really good. They did take care of business, and there was a couple of things that we needed to work on, but it was nice to get the first game out of the way and kind of get the nerves out of the way, too.
Did you see much nerves from your team?
I think we saw nerves from both teams. In the first set, it went back and forth for a little bit. We made some uncharacteristic errors, but it's just getting used to playing in a different facility, different environment, and then obviously these games mean a lot more.
Well, you go out and leading up to that, it was kind of a busy day, and of course you go through and you had a banquet the night before, and then you get ready to go and then end up playing. So you've got a veteran team. Could you see that from yesterday? Yeah, we do. It is a lot. I'm glad we played yesterday morning. I don't think we wanted to wait any longer to play. It's a long trip here. Then you have a day of practice and then the banquet, and then you finally get to play. So I'm actually happy we got to play yesterday morning. We do have a veteran group, but we don't have anyone that has been to the national tournament. And so we knew when we were facing Navarro that they returned a lot of people from last year's team that got third, so they would have that experience. But I think we handled it really well, and we just went in and did our job. Big matches from Phoebe and Anna yesterday.
Yes, Phoebe is, Phoebe's Phoebe. Phoebe always gives us what we need. She's a phenomenal player, but Anna really stepped up. She was very, very efficient, and she was ready to go. 44 assists yesterday by your team. That's pretty good. It is. We offensively yesterday we did a really good job of spreading the ball out. Our setters did a good job of putting the hitters in good positions. I would say one thing we did really well was we took care of the ball. In the second set, when we went down a little bit, we just had too many errors. Once we corrected our side, everything went really smoothly. What was the environment like? You kicked it off, but then did you stay around? I mean, how do you handle that? Do you stay watch more volleyball, or how do you handle? Because you had a long day after you picked up that first round match. We did. We didn't stay after. We went and ate lunch, let the girls shower, things like that. And then we went to a nice dinner last night. We went and watched Colby last night just to support teams in our region. So it's really tricky the first day. You can't go watch the next team you're playing because the team that you'll play next is playing at the same time as you. So there wasn't really a need for us to sit there and watch a lot. But from here on out, we'll probably spend a little bit more time in the gym seeing who we're going to play next. Okay, Indian Hills. This one, another team you saw back September 14th out in Sterling, Colorado. This time you see them in Tennessee. They also swept their match yesterday against New Mexico Military. Thoughts on that team and what you expect from them today? Yeah, so Indian Hills had a solid performance yesterday. They played New Mexico Military, who's been ranked third in the country all year long. So really big upset for them. They, had lots of energy, lots of adrenaline. They played really well. They have a couple players who are really dominant. One of their players, number 15, I think she leads the country in kills and kills per set. She's very good. She's athletic. She's tall. If we stop her, I think we'll have a good chance of winning. We won last time we played them, but like we talked about when we played Navarro, everyone's a different team since August, September when you played them. So it's nice that we were able to play a lot of these teams to face the competition, but everyone's grown a lot since then. Yeah, that's one of the things. Everybody down there is probably pretty good. How would you describe, as somebody said, well, Megan, tell me about Indian Hills. I guess that's what I'm saying right now. So describe Indian Hills as a volleyball team and kind of what they do and what they're about. Yeah, they're a team that makes the tournament every year. They have had the same coach for a really long time. She does a good job. They have a lot of international presence. They're really good offensively. I think it's kind of the same with the Navarro matchup yesterday. We are probably stronger defensively, and they might be a little stronger offensively, but we pass the ball really well, and that's, we're hard to defend when we pass the ball well. I think we're a pretty even team. I think they're really good, and I think we're really good, and it should be a really good game.
Okay, so you pick up a win today. You'll play tomorrow no matter what, but hopefully it is a win. And, well, good luck. What are your feelings right now heading into this match?
I think just excitement. I think the girls are really excited about yesterday. Winning the first game, that's always the number one goal is you want to be in the top 8, so you got to win the first game. And I think now they've kind of tasted like, oh, we can really do this. Not that I don't think they ever thought they couldn't. It's just a little intimidating when you're here for the first time. And, there's only 16 teams in the tournament for volleyball. So every team that's here is really good. You don't have that easy first-round game like you do in some other tournaments where there's more teams. So I think it's just nice to get the first win out of the way, and I think they're motivated and they're ready to go.
Megan, good luck today. Appreciate you taking some time to spend with us here on Sports Day. Megan Bessaker, head coach of the Barton Lady Cougars, playing this afternoon in the NJCAA quarterfinals in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Hurry! Hadley, close the door!
Okay, Papa, I've got it.
Oh, no! The safety eyes worked.
Papa, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, Hadley. It's a good thing normally, but...
Hey, you two. Where's my turkey?
Papa did it.
Well, at least I still have you 2 turkeys.
Happy Thanksgiving from C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day also brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country, and by the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend. Large or small, they take care of them all. It's our pleasure to welcome back to the Mayo Money Management Studios for another year of Barton Wrestling, Nathan Brockelman. Well, you weathered everything well, so welcome back again, Coach. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
So the first thing that stands out, as I told you when you came in here today, that the coolest thing is I was looking over the roster, and it's almost 3 sheets, okay? So obviously the recruiting went pretty well. It's bringing in some wrestlers to the Barton program.
Yeah, recruiting went well last year. We brought in 24 guys and tacked on 4 managers with that, so we're sitting about 28 right now. And, we even have a couple guys talking about maybe transferring here in the spring, which they wouldn't be able to compete necessarily for Barton, but they'd be able to compete the next year for us, but at least get bought into the program and, get them ready to go for a year and still keep them on the mat and making sure they're doing the right things in the room as far as classroom goes.
What's the reception like now as you come out and you get your program more established now, going out to talk to some of these kids?
It definitely makes it a lot better that they can see, the roster's growing. There's actually guys that they recognize their names on our roster so that they know they have some partners to come in. The first year when you looked at the roster, they didn't even really see any names on there, so it was hard to see, am I even going to have a partner to practice with? But, seeing our roster and size that it's growing, I think it helps the incoming freshmen for class of 2025 see, they will have partners. They'll have a good, solid room to work in.
That's something I never had thought about before. A partner that you wrestle with.
Yeah, it makes a difference. We try to go, try to get 2 or 3 kids for every weight class, and some kids grow in between the time you sign them and by the time they come to campus. Some kids don't grow, and they think, oh, maybe I should go 33 instead of 141.
Yeah.
And so it's all kind of crazy until they get on campus and kind of see what they actually weigh. But recruit the kid, not necessarily the weight, is kind of how I go. So.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about your results so far that you've had, and it got, as far as what has happened so far. Kind of tell me about your season so far, anyway.
Yeah, so we've had a pretty big start of the year. We went back to the Baker Open, wrestled pretty well there. I don't believe we had any placers there, but we did wrestle well. If you kind of compare year by year, I know we have more guys that are wrestling, but we're coming back with better stats as far as that goes. If you're a stats person, more wins, not as many losses, or probably more losses because there's more kids, but ultimately, picking up more wins as well. And we turned around that first week and had a scrimmage against Friends. It was just an exhibition scrimmage, so it didn't necessarily count for anything as far as a dual record. It was just kind of a recruiting showcase for Friends. We kind of worked together and showed our kids that here's an opportunity if you want to move on after Barton. Here's a place that would love to take you. And we turned around on that Friday and went to Atchison and wrestled 4 more duels. We went 1-3 in duels there. We beat William Woods, who I believe is an NAIA out of Missouri, I believe. We lost a tight one to Colby. And you know me by now. I don't like making excuses, but when you're wrestling with 2 opens, it's hard to win any duels at all at that tournament. We had some kids get banged up at Baker and Friends, so we had 2 opens that weekend, and wrestled pretty competitive. We kind of took a hard loss to Quincy, which they're a Division II school out of Illinois, and they were real solid. But turned around and wrestled in their open the next day, and I think we had 5 guys place, and 1 guy come through on the backside. They kind of did their brackets weird, where if you lost first round, you couldn't come back to third, but you could win the consolation bracket. And we did have 1 guy come through. He ended up going like 3-1 on the day, but his first loss was the kid that I think actually won the bracket. So if we would have matched up differently in that first round, he might have been a little higher than that as well. So then from there, we went to Grandview up in Iowa, up in Grimes, Iowa. Competed well. Every single one of those brackets was a 64-man bracket. It was a long day, 16 mats, not a lot of seating.
16 mats?
16 mats, yeah.
Wow.
Talk about long day. I got 3 heavyweights. One's kind of trying to go down to 197 right now, but 2 of the heavyweights had a bye first round. The meet started at 9. We got there at 6 a.m. for weigh-ins, and his first match wasn't until 1 p.m. And they both won, which was awesome, but then their second match wasn't until 5 p.m. So, it's just kind of aware of the day, and sometimes that gets to kids, and it's a tough tournament. I mean, there's University of Iowa there, UNI was there, Iowa State, Nebraska. You got some D1s mixed in there with you as well. And then this weekend we go to Kearney on Saturday. And actually last night we just had a triangular with Labette and Northern Oklahoma Tahquah, and pulled out our second win of the year. So we're 2-4 on the year. We lost to Labette. Labette's currently number 4 in the nation in JCAA, so they're pretty tough. But we were able to beat Knock 26 to 20. So that was nice to notch up another win. Last year we didn't even get our first dual win till the end of January, and we're already at 2 this year. We're 2-4 on the year, so looking for more wins to come and just continue to improve like that on a team.
Wrestling's certainly unique. You don't see the Barton basketball team going out and playing 4-year schools. I mean, unless they call them the JV squad, but you're at a lot of meets, as you said. Division I's show up to some of these, so the spectrum of your competition is all over the place.
Yeah, it is all over the place. Even at Kearney this weekend, both Grandview and Kearney, they do like an elite division and a freshman-sophomore division. So at least we're wrestling freshman-sophomore division.
Right, okay.
But they are on those Division I rosters. I don't believe we matched up with any Division I guys at Grandview. But I know last year we wrestled some kids from Oklahoma, Nebraska, UNI. And then this weekend at Kearney, they'll be Nebraska University, Wyoming's coming down. I think North Dakota State's bringing some guys. So,
what's changed for? I mean, we're looking ahead here, but down the road, for anything changes as far as postseason qualification for nationals this year? Any changes there? With maybe more teams, I don't know.
Yeah, so Knock added wrestling, which is why we were able to pick that duel up with them, which was good to see them, because I don't know if we'll see them again until regions. But so they're in our region, so now we're at 11 regional teams, and it's all based on a percentage. I think it's 72% qualify from your region. So depending on how many entries there are, they take 72%. So there's a good chance that the top 7 will go this year instead of the top 6. But they could also, as a coaching group, we could also decide like top 6 plus the next best 10, because sometimes weights are a little more overloaded than some of the other weights. So anywhere from the top 6 to top 7 this year instead of just the top 6.
Okay, so Nathan Brockelman with us, Barton wrestling coach here on the program, and you'll be able to hear these reports every Monday at noon. I mean at 1 o'clock. So this is going to be that'll be Barton wrestling time each week. So we'll learn more about these wrestlers as we go throughout the season, Coach. But who's off to a good start for you?
Our returning heavyweight, Nathan Agudziato. He's from Junction City. I think he's 9-6 on the year. He's probably off to the best start. We've had a lot of weird injuries this year, and I haven't even really been able to pinpoint, why do we keep getting these injuries? Because it's not like a knee, everyone's hurting their knee or everyone's hurting their shoulder. I mean, we've had 2 knees, 2 concussions, a thumb, a wrist, an elbow. So trying to figure out what's going on there inside the room, that because we're not even like banging as hard as we were last year, So we're trying to get everyone healthy, and get everyone back on the mat. Ethan Bowles, Jarrett Mater, 41-49. They're both having successful years to start the year. We got Keevan Schroeder back out from Great Bend. He's actually the one trying to get down to 197, but as he's cutting down to 197, he's competing well at heavyweight as well. And that's always good to see, especially, he took a year off last year. So, excited to see what he ends up doing once he gets down to weight.
Okay, and maybe some freshmen have hit the mat running, so to speak.
Last year we were open at 125. This year we got 3 of them, and right now our varsity guy Jamal Garrett, I want to say he's almost 500, if not having just barely above a winning record. It took him a little bit to get going, and that's what I tell all the guys that once you get that first college win, you gain that confidence back that you can do this thing. And it's taken some of them a little bit longer to find that first college win, but once they find it, they've kind of grown and taken off. So,
what's the biggest adjustment for someone coming in from high school wrestling to a college wrestling program at Barton?
I think just the physicality, and pretty much doing it year-round. Most wrestlers aren't year-round wrestlers. They're multi-sport athletes. And I think it elevates their game quite a bit when we start practice as soon as they get on campus. And after season's over, we give them spring break, and we're back in the wrestling room working for the next year. And I think just adjusting that mentality that whatever work I put in, no matter the time of year, is going to pay off. And, those sophomores that are having a successful start to their season that came back, I think they're glad that they see why some kids in different states or different areas of the state, go year-round. They see the gains they can gain in just that little bit amount of time.
So you still seeing the growth in college wrestling right now as far as the junior college level? A number of schools that are offering the program now?
Yeah, I know, like Knock added it. I have heard that there's going to be a community college in Georgia and Alabama Arkansas both adding it, which could change our district a little bit. I know district realignment, I think, is going to be talked about at the end of this year. So, if those 2 teams add in wrestling, that might change our district up a little bit. It might just be the KJCC, and that's it. No other Oklahomas or any other schools, just because it's now Oklahoma. I think there's another one in Oklahoma adding too. So there'll be 4 Oklahoma schools next year for sure, and possibly in Arkansas and Georgia. So we'll have to kind of see a year from now who's in our district and region, and what we might have to do to adjust our schedule to make sure we're seeing all those guys.
Okay, so going to Kearney this weekend, and then you're going to be off, and then Bob Smith up at Hayes. So just keeps rolling right along.
Yeah, we'll keep rolling right along, and then we'll host our Cougar Open on the 15th and release them for Christmas break. And we picked up some more opens in January as well for some of our guys that aren't wrestling in our conference duels, just to keep them on the mat, keep them bought in and focused. So it's exciting. A lot more traveling, but fortunately, that's part of the job, and that's what I love it.
All right. Nathan, thanks for coming in today. Yep, Nathan Brockman with us here on Sports Day Today, talking Barton Wrestling. Again, Nathan will be back in here on Monday on the program. Sports Day Today brought to you in part by Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish and continued support. They have you covered. And C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison in Great Bend. More Sports Day coming up.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juneau, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and as we think about sports and athletics, the big teams, the big games get all the attention. Let's think about all the other sports that don't, such as tennis, golf, bowling, some of those incredible sports. Let's shine a light on those people too, but also shine a light on the band, the cheerleaders, the dance squad, those folks that help bring energy to the games and celebrate a sport for all the athletes. Let's celebrate that. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on KVGB. Our show brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. And the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 clear diesel, bulk fuel, E10, fuel delivery, and all your lubricants and fuel supplies. A lot of great sponsors helping to bring you local sports here in Central Kansas. Okay, Barton basketball conference season is underway. Yes, the Lady Cougars fall last night after had a 7-point halftime lead, but they dropped the conference opener to number 1 ranked Hutch, 59-43. As for the Cougar men, well, it was a rematch of the Region 6 championship game last year, and as I said, it was lived up to the billing. Cougars end up winning the game 94-89 over Hutch. So that was their 33rd straight win. And now the Cougars, both men and women, hit the road Saturday at Garden City. Women will tip at 2. The men's game will start at 6, or the women's game starts at 2. The men's game goes at 4. And then Cloud County on the road next Tuesday. So home game followed by 2 road games. And, boy, 7 Cougars in double figures last night. Keandre Kindrell leading the way with 19 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Gary Wagner had the call last night on B104.3 The Point after the game. Talked with the winning coach, Jeremy Combs.
Absolutely, that's what rivalries are. It's whether there's guys that were hitting shots that normally don't hit shots, and just getting hyped for the game. And I thought our guys competed. I thought their guys competed, and it was a great game.
And I was impressed with their guards. They're just very scrappy. Certainly not real flashy, but man, they just anytime they needed a big shot, they seemed to get one.
Yeah, no, they're a talented team. I mean, they've lost some games because they didn't shoot it well, but at the end of the day, that's a talented group of guys. The point guard Zero is a Division I transfer, and the Boo Richardson kid, he's also a guy that has been recruited by Arizona State and Arizona and Mississippi State and all those different schools. So they're really talented, but I thought we battled there towards the end and kind of executed. We had some Sebastian knocked down that three, which was huge.
Absolutely.
So I just thought we executed down the stretch, and that's what won the game.
The overtime period, again, kind of back and forth. What's the value in a game like this where, first we talked about it being your first conference game of the season. It's a tight game. I would imagine for you as a coach, even though they're nail biters, you love to have this rather than a blowout over a JV team. You talked about wanting good competition.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we, these are games where you learn a lot, and now you can say you've been in that overtime game. We know how it works, and luckily we were able to come out on top. And, so next time if something like this happens, our guys will be prepared. And there was a lot of things going on in that game that maybe most people don't pay attention to, but just getting the ball, having to get the ball in, when we know they're going to foul, just different things like that really, really helped us.
Talk about the last few seconds of the game, and then after the game, you were in the officials' ear there a little bit, and maybe even in some players. What did you see? There was so much that went on in that last few seconds as the ball came down the floor. There were guys on the floor. What happened?
Yeah, well, they had some guys that kept talking to our bench. We kept telling our guys don't even pay attention to them and things like that, and then we go at the end of the game, go to shake somebody's hand. There were two guys in our huddle, as we're getting ready to go and shake hands. And I was just letting the referees know that, hey, they got to control that, and see that. Maybe that's their job. I don't know, but somebody's got to take care of that. Obviously, we don't want anybody. We don't want the opposing team in our huddle as we're going through. That's not a good situation to be in because obviously bad things happen when that happens.
Yeah, I understand now why you were upset. I didn't see that going on down here. I think I was looking out on, there was a collision out on the floor, and I was following the action down here.
Yeah.
But so where do you go from here? You've got your number one in the country, 6-0, right where you want to be, but things aren't going to get any easier.
No, they're not, and we just got to keep getting better every day. We're going to come in tomorrow and get to work, and we'll watch film and just look at the things that we didn't do well, and then we've got to get to the point where our execution and different things like that is better throughout the game. We've got to get to the point where I think our largest lead was 14 tonight. We got to be able to put our foot down on their throats and put teams away. This game shouldn't have gone into overtime. So we'll figure that stuff out. That's all about growing. And, we've got a ton of new guys. And I think at the end of the day, we were better for this game.
You talked about how trying to mesh a new group of guys. It just seemed like there were stretches where during the game somebody else was stepping up. I thought Brent Moss had a great first half.
Yep.
Coming off the bench, and Gambo was tremendous in that first half. Obviously, Sonogo had a big game. You can go down that line. Drake Kendall's always going to be solid for you, but you can point to each one of those guys and say, yeah, there was a stretch where we needed him and he stepped up.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about this team. And, like I said a long time ago, these guys can score the ball, and we've got a bunch of them. And there's some guys that were sitting on the bench that could have helped us tonight. It's unfortunate we can only put 5 out there on the floor and then, get some subs in, things like that. But, our depth is good, and we told them in the locker room that at any given night it could be anybody's game, and Sebastian was the one that hit a big shot for us tonight, and Brent had some big rebounds for us. Modibo had some big rebounds, so, it might be somebody else's turn next time.
There you go, Jeremy Combs following their overtime win over Hutchinson. We'll have more with Coach coming up tomorrow. He'll be on Sports Day in our first segment at around 12:45 on the Friday Sports Day show that will also have Connor Nickel. He'll be previewing that Division I 8-man semifinal game in Claflin tomorrow night. That is a 6 o'clock kickoff as the Oilers take on Clifton Clyde. We'll take a break. We'll be back, run down some more of the day's headlines for you coming up right after this.
Hurry! Hadley, close the door!
Okay, Papa, I've got it.
Oh, no! The safety eyes worked.
Papa, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, Hadley. It's a good thing normally, but...
Hey, you two, where's my turkey?
Papa did it.
Well, at least I still have you two turkeys.
Happy Thanksgiving from C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
Equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Also brought to you in part by Equity Bank, adding value for their customers and communities. Equity Bank. Go to equitybank.com for more information. Steve Webster now joined once again by Mike Hesher. Run down some of the other headlines. K-State women winning again last night. It was a tough one over Milwaukee. 111-46. Ioka Lee with 25 points. 6 Kansas State women were in double figures. K-State led 54-18 by halftime, coasted from there. Major League Baseball will test robot umpires as part of a challenge system during the spring training at 13 ballparks, hosting 19 teams, which could lead to regular season use in 2026. Baseball's been experimenting with automated ball strike systems in the minor league since 2019, but it was working on the shape of the strike zone. An agreement for big league use would have to be reached with the Major League Baseball Umpires Association. Commissioner Rob Manfred said, I would be interested in having it in 26. Just put the... What are we going to have challenges on balls and strikes now?
The shape of the strike zone, is it not from the top of the knees to the armpits?
I like the box.
I do too.
But now you'll get, strike 3. And
No, I would say no challenges.
No challenges.
No challenges. We'd be there all day. They just got the game sped up. Don't slow it down again.
Freddie Freeman's historic walk-off grand slam ball from Game 1 of the World Series hitting the auction blocks. Hesh, your operations manager, let's get a bid in.
$75. $75.
10-year-old boy named Zachary Ruderman corralled the ball in the stands, looking to become a millionaire.
Mom and Dad are looking.
Yeah, there you go. Talk to you tomorrow.